What's good, y'all? Welcome back. Happy Saturday. Welcome back. So I watched like the highlights of the Sydney. I forgot. Oh, the Sydney and the Western Bulldogs game, and I was watching the highlights. I'm like, bro, some of these 50s they were calling were just crazy, bro. I think like 150 was like the Western Bulldogs player kind of like showed. I think like he knocked the ball out of like Blade's hands, and that was a 50. I'm like, bro, come on, like. I mean, are you supposed to do that? No. To be honest, not really. But dude, that's a whole 50 over that. So that's why I was like, listen, some of these umpire decisions this season, like, I've seen like a few, like I've heard about like a few as well this season. But you guys let me know in the comments down below how you guys feeling about the umpiring decisions upcoming this season. So guess what? We are finished to check out some of the worst ones. Shout out to my boy Kalen Archer, goes to him. Let's get it.
These are more of the worst umpiring decisions in AFL history. Some won home and away matches, others lost grand finals. In a 2023 match between GWS and Carlton, Stephen Coniglio appealed to the umpire for a free kick for the Giants against Harry Mackay, who had just disposed of the ball illegally. But the umpire declared it as an act of dissent, and so Jesse Motlop was given a free kick right in front of goal, to put Carlton up by 1 point with only 10 minutes left in the game. This was a crucial goal in the end, helping the Blues to a 10-point win. In a 2018 showdown between Port and Adelaide, Josh Jenkins kicked what looked like a goal, and upon looking at the score review, it seemed certain that this was a goal, but it was not. How do we know this? Well, Jenkins admitted that he thought it hit the post in a press conference interview.
Can't you check it?
It's hard to blame the umpires here, but Jenkins' lack of celebration was definitely a dead giveaway. In a 2021 clash between Geelong and Brisbane...
But aren't they able to, like, check it, I thought? Like, can't you, like, use, like, the goal technology to see if it touches the bar or not, like... Unless it wasn't, I guess, like, at that time, but that looked pretty recently, like...
Brisbane, Mark Blitzarves took possession of the ball right next to Brisbane's goal with 30 seconds left. He was quickly tackled by Zach Bailey, throwing the ball in the process, but the umpire called play on, declaring that he'd handballed the ball. This cost Bailey a shot after the siren, but luckily he'd get redemption by kicking an after the siren goal against Collingwood the following week. This match decided ladder positions for both teams, putting Geelong in 3rd place and Brisbane in 4th at the end of the season,
still lame,
which contributed to the Lions going out in straight sets in finals. In a 2023 contest between Collingwood and Geelong, Jeremy Cameron received a handball from Brad Close before snapping an impressive goal to cut the margin down to only 11 points.
That's a hell of a goal.
But on further inspection, Cameron had received the ball while he was completely out of bounds, and it's baffling that none of the two nearby umpires were able to pick this up. However, Geelong lost the match, so this horrible umpiring decision didn't have a huge impact on ladder positions. But I can't say the same about this next one. In a 2023 game between Adelaide and Collingwood, Riley O'Brien bombed the ball into Adelaide's forward 50. Jordan Dawson ran onto the ball and gathered it with only 10 seconds left, before Jamie Elliott clipped him high. It would have been an after the siren kick for Dawson, but no, the umpires didn't blow their whistles and let play resume instead. While I agree it was a hard free for umpires to see due to how quickly it happened, Dawson bleeding after the hit showed just how much of a free it truly was.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, when you start seeing blood, like, you know, like, dang, like, you missed that call, so you can't really, like, change it back, but it's like... But, like, it happens in so fast, like, it's hard for us to, like, umpires to, like, really, like, call it on the spot. So, like, it's hard being an ump. We all clown them, we all make fun of them, but it's hard being an umpire though, man.
This horrible decision, coupled with Adelaide being robbed of a win against Sydney thanks to the goal umpire, certainly cost Adelaide a spot in the finals. In the 2022 first round match between Richmond and Carlton, Sam Docherty marked the ball in the middle of the MCG. Shane Edwards subsequently ran over to stand the mark, shuffling his feet in the process, which proved a fatal mistake. He then stood still before the umpire waited a few seconds and then blew his whistle to call a 50-metre penalty. It's as delayed an umpiring call as I've ever seen. Carlton won the match comfortably by 25 points, and this was definitely a momentum shifter in the match as it brought the Blues fans into a frenzy celebrating a goal from a player who has gone through so much adversity.
That's hard.
In the 2023 blockbuster between Carlton and Melbourne, Christian Petrarca appeared to kick a certain goal that put the Demons up by 1 point with just 43 seconds left.
Crap.
But the umpire called a score review, declaring that his original decision was a rush behind. Upon review, there was no sign of the ball being touched by Caleb Marchbank, and so the score review panel called the kick a touch behind, possibly fearing that they'd be blamed for ruining Carlton's finals chances if calling it a goal had later deemed to be incorrect. That was the last score of the match, with Carlton winning by 4 points, knocking the Demons from 2nd to 4th on the ladder at the conclusion
this is like
of the
2 years
season.
ago.
In the 2022 elimination final between Brisbane and Richmond,
That's where
Tom
Carlton
Lynch
was
took a
like
mark
5.
only a few metres out from goal with just 2 minutes left on the clock to extend Richmond's lead to 9 points with a straight kick. The angle was tight, and so he chose to kick a checky, but Lynch's kick went straight over the left goalpost, and so it was impossible to tell whether it was a goal or not. The umpire's original decision was a goal, which is obviously hard to argue with. However, this wasn't the horrible umpiring decision, but instead it occurred when the score review panel shockingly overruled Lynch's kick as a behind with no definitive evidence.
Whoa.
Many Richmond fans will argue that this decision was heavily influenced by Lynch's lack of celebration after his set shot, and I don't blame them. Joe Danaher then kicked a goal with 1 minute left, knocking the Tigers out of premiership contention. In the 1997 semi-final between Adelaide and Geelong, Geelong's Lee Colbert kept his eyes on the footy, running back to take a clean, courageous mark that should have seen him line up for goal, but that didn't happen. The umpire blew his whistle and called a ball up, before Colbert had even been tackled. Geelong players were understandably very upset. Eventually, Adelaide won the match by 8.
Wait. What's a ball up? Like, is that I'm dead ass. So is that we just have like the ball up, I guess? Like
8 points, going on to win the 1997 premiership against St Kilda,
Adelaide
which makes you
Geelong.
wonder if the umpire had made the correct call, could Geelong have won that year's premiership instead? In the 1997 preliminary final between Adelaide and the Western Bulldogs 1 week later, Tony Liberatore gathered a ground ball and fired a quick snap towards goal that sailed straight through the big sticks.
Wait, Tony Liberatore. So his son plays for the Western Bulldogs. What was it, Matthew Liberatore? Well, it's Liberatore plays for Western Bulldogs. I didn't know his dad played for them. That's hard. To follow his son, like, real, hey, that's hard.
The crowd
that's
erupted, and Liberatore started energetically celebrating. That was until the umpire signalled that his kick was a point. Now, at the time, the Bulldogs weren't that frustrated. I mean, they were up by 23 points with 11 minutes to go against an inaccurate Adelaide side that had kicked 8 goals, 18 behinds up until that point. But the Western Bulldogs would not score a single goal for the rest of the match, while Adelaide piled on 4 goals, leading them to an infamous 2-point victory that sent them straight to the MCG for that year's grand final, while the Bulldogs were sent packing. In the 2002 grand final between Collingwood and Brisbane, Anthony Rocker marked the ball with just 14 minutes left.
Yeah, this was crazy. I know exactly this. This was crazy. This was
Collingwood
insane.
down by 4 points. He lined up from 50, and his kick went straight through the middle of the goals, and he understandably began to celebrate. Even the crowd let out a huge roar. But he would go from celebration to anger when he eventually realised that the goal umpire had called his kick a point. Many Collingwood fans think this was an example of match fixing, while others blame the horrible decision on Jonathan Brown appealing that it was behind on the goal line, which scared the umpire into making the wrong decision. But Collingwood will get their revenge 21 years later in the 2023 grand final that featured the same two teams, the Lions and the Pies. And this game went down to the wire. With 1 minute and 28 seconds left, Jared Berry launched the ball into Brisbane's forward 50, and it eventually ended up in the hands of Lockie Neal. Oleg Markov then tackled Neal, but the tackle slipped low and the umpire ruled it a trip. Zach Bailey obviously couldn't hear the whistle due to the unbearably loud noise of the crowd, and so he delivered a poor inside 50 entry for the Lions in the midst of being tackled. But to the surprise of 100,024 fans, The umpire called play on while the ball was in midair, when anyone in their right mind understood that Bailey's kick did not give the Lions any advantage whatsoever. This poor umpiring decision potentially cost Brisbane the 2023 premiership. Tell me which other umpiring decisions you want to.
That was crazy as well. That would hurt. That would hurt. To end it off like that, that hurt. But some of the umpire decisions were crazy because it seemed like a lot of them were like conspiracy type thing. Like we had like a match fixing that Collingwood fan was thinking. Then like we also mentioned how like they say like it was like a makeup call to a degree. Chat. I don't know, but you guys let me know you guys thoughts and comments down below. See you guys then. Peace.